Am I the wrongdoer for removing my mom and sister from my life? Trigger warning, infant loss. My husband and I lost our 6-week-old son at the beginning of December to SIDS. To give a little background. He was a healthy baby and we had no reason to believe otherwise. I woke up early that morning to get my oldest child ready for school. But everything quickly changed when I went to check on our baby. He wasn't breathing and his face was pale. I started CPR. Called 911. And when the ambulance got here, they took him to the hospital. Even with all their efforts to bring him back, he was gone. Before I had even left the hospital, which I sat at for a couple of hours trying to say goodbye and bring myself to let go of his body, my phone was ringing uncontrollably. My sister, who was only in town for my wedding, had called everyone and told them what had happened before I had a chance to even process what happened. She even called her church in another state and told them there was a loss in the family, resulting in a sympathy letter from strangers, even though she knows I'm usually a private person. Fast forward a couple of days, we're making funeral arrangements and my dad, knowing I usually went to my mom for comfort, offered to pay for her to come down and be with me by whatever means necessary. She's not that well off and had just been down here for our wedding 3 days prior to our son's passing. I begged her to come down to be with me. Explained that I was in a fragile state, having thoughts of suicide, and that I was simply broken. My dad first offered to fly her here. She then stated she couldn't fly because she had no one there to watch my child siblings for her. I gave her his number and asked her to get a hold of him because he said he'd help whatever it would take. She didn't respond. I sent her the information for his funeral, and was met with a reply about how hard this is on her. The day of the funeral, my mother wasn't there. She had refused to take my dad's help and told me she wished she could be there. I found out 2 weeks later that she got married to her BF the same day I laid my son to rest. When I confronted her, I was met with she couldn't take his help. Her wedding was a sad day unlike mine. And she does care. Back to my sister. She made it back to her home and started posting a week after his passing about grief and being sad, which I hated, but brushed off because I knew that I'm not the only one hurt. That was until she posted a video containing a mom and baby bird flying. The baby bird was shot and died. The mother bird found her baby dead and began trying to pick it up, bring it back to life, and was left crying. The mom bird held a funeral and was sad as every day of her life went by. I went off on her, telling her it was sick and insensitive to post something like that after I had just lost my baby. She simply stated it wasn't directed towards me and my husband, and she was sorry I felt that way. She followed up with a post about being tired of people calling her insensitive, and she dated someone that was actually insensitive. Her and my mother were also talking to each other in our family group chat, saying when they die they want people to celebrate their lives and not react the way I did to my son's passing. I haven't spoken to either of them since then. Many people have said my sister is very sensitive and is allowed to post and do what she wants. And I keep getting told I'm being too hard on my mother and should be more forgiving. Am I the wrongdoer?